well, tell him to write to you. We don't know who he is, what he is. German origin. So he left. He said he couldn't stay longer because he couldn't sleep and he couldn't eat. So he left, and we started corresponding in German. I knew German. And then we met up again in Switzerland, but not in St. Moritz, in Zurich. My mother had a cousin which we were very good with them, so we stayed there and we met up. And after a few years, he proposed to me again, and we got engaged. And our engagement was in Zurich. My brother was in Milan, in Italy, and he couldn't come for the engagement because he needed a visa from Milan to Zurich. He had a Polish passport.
Can you just tell me the story about him leaning over and taking your salt?
Yeah, well, yes, he leaned over, and I told him, but this is only a saying in a different language. I told him that he's very cheeky. And he hasn't forgotten this. He liked
Because
it.
he took the salt from your table without
Without
asking,
asking.
didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, we used to go, not alone, but in groups together. And it's a beautiful place, St. Moritz. And it's not far from Milan. There's a coach going. So that's how I met.
Yeah. You went on to have a very big family, didn't you? I'm just looking at the number of grandchildren you have.
Great-grandchildren.
And great-grandchildren. It says that you have nearly 90 great-grandchildren, is that right?
Something like this.
Do
80.
you feel that having a big family was your mission?
I had no idea, really. I had no idea. I wasn't planning them, but I enjoyed. For me, grandchildren and great-grandchildren is the same. They're very, very close with us. They will come Thursday and Friday every week to wish a nice weekend. And the ones that live abroad will ring every week. They study abroad, they live abroad. And the one in London, if they can't come, they will ring up. They feel very, very close with us. They're more like own children.
That must be the biggest blessing and great compensation after everything that you've been through in your life. Is that how you feel?
Yes, definitely. And they appreciate us, and they love to listen to our stories. Not the young little ones, but they were, and now it's the great-grandchildren, like here the grandson that left. He has got twins. They're gorgeous. They know already. My husband plays with them. He jokes with them. They know already.
How old are they?
They're just about 2.
And he's told them the story of
everything? No.
But that would be part of their education going forward, is about the heritage of your family and what happened.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to be speaking to your husband this afternoon, but before I hand you to Liz, because she has a few more things to do with you, is there anything that you would like to have told me that I haven't asked you?
I don't know. Don't think so.
You said that you haven't been sleeping in preparation for this.
Yeah, because it's still, it's still haunting me when I talk too much. I try to forget, because what does it help if I remember? I remember, but I don't think of it all the time, To think a family of hundreds that nobody survived, how can you accept this? And we were a close family, not somebody that we didn't see. Friends, school friends, nobody. Like somebody, one of my grandsons, I've got another daughter, younger daughter. He met a girl and they were getting engaged. And the mother of the girl said, "Who is this Mrs. Senke? She comes from Italy, from Italian one." I was 6 years in Italy when we emigrated to Italy. She asked somebody that she knows I'm a young woman that I'm close to. Don't be silly, she's not Italian. You know what? You have a cousin who married a girl as well from there. Talk to her, she lives in America. She rang her up and she said, "What? She's not Italian. She told her who I was. She said, we were together in school. We were together in Russia. You see, people still think, who are those people? After the war especially was such a mixture. Nobody knew who is who. From where are you? Who are you? And it still is. I was a bit upset that she asked, but then my husband said, what do you want? She doesn't know who you are. And now they are so happy with this couple, the father of the girl, that every time he sees my husband, he says, your grandson, he is so lovely. I understand. Mm. So, you know, it can't be forgotten so quickly.
Mm. Okay. So, Mrs. Sanger, could you just explain to me, did you stay in the refugee camp outside of Milan for a long time? Where did you go?
While I was in a refugee camp?
Yeah, how long were you there and where did you go after that?
Into town in Milan. We made friends. We made friends that lived in town, as well refugees, but they were already working. They were living in town, and they got us accommodation. In the beginning, we just got a room with a woman living there. We didn't have our own flat because we couldn't afford it. And there were a lot of refugees. But we were happy, we were free.
Great, thank you. And what did you do there? I understand you had a special skill.
Yes, I learned this in Poland after the war. Bras and girdles, this and that. So I went to a woman who was doing this, and I worked for her.
You have so many documents.
Yeah, but this is all from the one same place.
Right.
This is as well identity document. And this is a travel document now. We left Russia without documents. And then my mother arranged a Polish passport in Poland, and we traveled with it to Italy. But before I went to England, I was told, don't show your Polish passport because you'll never get a visa. Because those days, communists had a name like Nazis. We were told I had, from the school reports and everything in Russian, they told me, you leave Russia, destroy everything what's written in Russian. So I have got nothing. I'm sorry, but I was frightened. They won't let me because they were frightened that communists shouldn't spread. So I said, well, I have a Polish passport. They said, no, give the passport back to the Polish consulate and they should give you a travel document. And that is my travel document. That's how I was traveling till I got. Now, when I got engaged with my husband, he arranged for the wedding, and he was already British. So in a few days, I had already a British passport. I couldn't speak very much English yet. I was already studying it, so I went back by train, and couldn't understand everything. So I told the conductor, I'm sorry, I don't speak so much English. He said, but you have a... I said, well, I just got married. So he said, but don't you like England? I said, yes, so why are you leaving already? The thing is, I had a civil wedding, but the proper Jewish wedding I had in Italy. So I couldn't explain him to this, especially if I didn't know English. So this is the story of the documents. This is my travel document.
I guess they're quite they're very representative of that part of your life. You travelled so much, you moved so often.
Yeah. That is that. Now, the longest time of my life I lived in England. Yeah. In Italy we were happy, we were free. We didn't live in luxury, but we were free. This was something, we were not so frightened. Yeah. It's very difficult to understand. It's better that people know and don't know about it, you know.
What do you mean?
Well, to live it is not easy. You know, should be spoken about. One can't imagine it, really, as much as you hear it. You just can't imagine how it was. Like my mother, she lived, when I got married, she stayed in Milan. She was still living in Milan. And she didn't like English words, and so she didn't want to move in the beginning. And she was in Israel. My sister said, Mama, why don't you settle here? She said, no. Here will be always war. I can't take another war. She was already the First World War and Second World War. But then she came to Manchester, and she was very happy. She died there. She was not very old. She was 73. She was a nice person. And she knew already my children. The first grandchildren. Yeah. But that's that.
I'm sure having grandchildren, and I'm sure that made her very happy.
Oh, yes. She knew already my children, but not the grandchildren.
Right, okay.
Yeah. She was always there helping me out. She was a very jolly person. She never complained. She never cried. She pretended everything's fine, but it wasn't. She lost all her family, and she wasn't so well. But anyway, I was very close to her. She was more like a friend, but she was very jolly, and she sang very well. She was very musical, so was my father. My father played the violin, and then was a fashion, the women played the mandolin, it was called. They used to play. And I was singing with, I didn't know what I was singing. After the war, we came to Poland, and my mother said, you know what, you're big enough to go to the opera, come to the opera. I came to the opera, and I know the music, and I started singing. I didn't even know my mother was singing operas. This I miss in England, because Italy is very musical. Anybody in the street will sing like an opera singer. And in England, it's not.
Would you like to sing for us?
Fun? No, I can't sing anymore. No. My name is Eugenia Sange. I was born in Italy, 2528, and I was deported to Siberia from Poland. My name is Eugenia Sange. I was born 2528.